Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Fielding Shredder. This video series is a multi-part video series on sponsorships. So if you missed the first one, you can check back and I'll leave a link in the description below. It's got a lot of important information kind of establishing this series, and I talk about the difference in sponsorship, partnership, and charity. So we're going to jump right back into my trip to SEMA. The biggest and most important partnership I found at that SEMA convention was Kenda Tires. And this was actually just being in the right place at the right time and having a car that was exciting enough to get some interest. So at the time, Josh Steele actually was attempting to get a Kenda sponsorship, and he went with Aaron Losey of Lone Star Drift to the Kenda booth to ask for a sponsorship. And it's really funny. They actually said, okay, yeah, whatever, Josh. Who's this Fielding Shredder guy and where is he? And Aaron literally just started laughing because I was, just on the up and coming. I wasn't like an established driver, and I wasn't a very competitive driver, quite frankly, at the time. And he just started laughing, and he called me later that day and he said, hey, Kenda just asked for you by name, which is real weird. And I was like, really? Awesome. Let me go talk to them. And so I did. I went and chat with them, and they liked me. We vibed, and there we go. They said, look, we want to sponsor you. What's that going to take? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll take anything. I was thinking small at the time. I just got a free discount from a clutch company, and I'm like, is that how this works? And so I just asked for a certain amount of tires that I felt like would last me about a year. And they said, okay, no problem. And I'm just like, holy crap, are you serious? And they were serious. They said, yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to have a sponsored driver in the Pro-Am series in the United States, and we like you, and so why not? And I said, yeah, you're right, why not? So I did. And that was huge for me because, as you know, in drifting, tires are everything, right? And so that took not only thousands of dollars of cost out of my yearly program, but also gave me a much more legitimate, name to put on my car. Now I have Kenda Tires, and when other companies see that you are sponsored or supported by a tire company, they know, okay, he's pretty serious. He's definitely making a go of this, or competitive, or whatever they think. Whether it's true or not doesn't really matter. Perception, again, is reality. So I was able to go from there and chat with the guys over at BC Racing. These guys are awesome as well. I just got to chat with Cody. He said, hey, what can we do to help you? I said, I want some free coilovers. And he goes, how about a discount? And I said, you know what? Okay, let's try that. So he gave me a discount the first year, and he was very good at communication, one of the most professional that I have dealt with on a personal level in terms of telling me what he wants, telling me what he expects in exchange for what I'm getting. And, I said, okay, let's do it. So from there, I had a contract that I had to sign. I had all the deliverables. Same with Kenda, of course. They're obviously a very professional company as well, and their investment was huge. Whereas BC's not so much, but he treated it as if I was a Formula D driver. It's just the same, only they were giving me less in the beginning. And he said, look, if you do a good job the first year, we'll continue to increase the amount of support that we have for you. And it's been fantastic. I've been supported by them ever since that day, that meeting, and they continue to support my program. So now they give me one set of free coilovers every year, and then throughout the year I'm able to get spares and extra parts if I want to change spring rates. They've been great with that. And then anything that I can do for them is just simply sending them customers, producing media, and talking about how great the product is and that sort of thing. So it's easier when you really believe in the product, and that was a big selling factor for me with Exity and Kenda and obviously BC as well. It's much easier to genuinely talk about how you use the product, you appreciate the product, you believe in the product, when it is something that is truly a beneficial and quality part. So that's another bit of advice I'd give you is, don't go get an easy sponsor just because and have a inferior product or an inferior car because of it. A lot of times it's better for you to just save up the money, buy the part that you want or the correct part, and then don't even mess with trying to get sponsored or dealing with that. Because let's say you got sponsored by a company that the parts were not the best, and then they break. Well, now you're at an event looking like a fool because you saved $500 on something when you could have just bought the right thing in the beginning, not have to deal with any paperwork or sponsorship obligations, kept your car a little cleaner with no stickers on it, and had a better time at the drift event. So remember, cost benefit, you got to really weigh that out, and it has to make sense for both parties, but more importantly for you. You are the one who's having to do all the work. You're the one who's having to do all the wrenching and pay the entry fee and mount the tires and fuel the car and travel to the events. And that's a lot of work that a lot of people don't think about. You know, they just think, oh man, I want to get these free parts or I want to get a discount. That's great sometimes, but if getting a $500 discount on a part requires you to go and spend $5,000 going to X number of events that you maybe weren't going to go to, well then that doesn't really make sense. Do you get what I'm saying? It's important to make sure that it makes sense, both financially and for the big picture. So from BC Racing, now I am kind of starting to get the ball rolling with my program. I'm able to reach out to other companies. Power Dynamics was a huge help back in the day. They helped me with some engine parts and they helped me with some tuning related stuff. And basically, that partnership was just kind of like a charity. So he didn't really get a whole lot from me, more than just some social media posts and some thank yous and a sticker on my car. And that was fine with him because he was kind of, already at capacity. So that's another thing to think about is if the company you are trying to help increase their awareness or their market share is already at capacity, well, that may not be so smart. It might not be a good idea to get them 100 more customers when they've already got 100 people waiting in line to get work done from them in the first place. So from there, I was able to, that's right. So I wanted to upgrade my car. Now I'm swapping to JZ. That's why I talked to PDX. That's right. Power Dynamics or JZ specialists. They know everything about JZs and they were helping me with a couple little things I had. And now I'm like, okay, I've got this ECU that I don't really like. Now I want to upgrade. So Zach at ECU Master actually reached out to me and asked if I would like to become the first US sponsored driver for this new product that had not been on the market very long. The company's established in Poland and they have a lot of support over there, but the US market was new to them and Zach was the first one bringing it on to the US soil. So I said, heck yeah, I'd love a chance to be sponsored by an ECU company and I need a new ECU anyway. And so, we worked together and same thing. He was really good about talking to me about what he wanted and I actually didn't do a good job on my end of talking to him about what I could provide or what he expected to provide. And so it was a little bit rocky in the beginning, I'll be honest, but now I think we've got a clear understanding and he now values me as an ambassador for his brand. And I've been running ECU Masters for many years now and they have continued to step up their game with their product line. And I try and continue to upgrade my stuff. Now Zach doesn't just give me free stuff whenever I want. He's got a business to run. It has to make sense for him as well. And he has since grown the company so large that he has sponsored bigger names like Adam LZ, for example. Now, obviously, Adam LZ has a lot more reach than I do. He's got a lot bigger program. He's got a lot more eyes on him. So I, unfortunately, have kind of fallen to the wayside, but that's okay. My car runs great. My ECU is fine. Zach is still totally supportive and helps me with what I need, but I can't really ask for something like Adam would ask for my program, which would be like support in cash or free tuning or like the full product line, because to get a full product line from ECU Master would be like $5,000 or $6,000 if I wanted temperature cameras on each wheel and all kinds of the little peripherals that they make, the PDU, the ADU, the ECU Black. All the stuff is pretty expensive when you add it all up together. So that was something that I certainly learned from in the beginning and have continued that partnership going on. All right, so I'm gonna break right now. I don't want this video to get too long or boring, so I'm gonna make a part 2. I will make sure to include that in the description down below. Hopefully you guys aren't asleep and you're learning something throughout this video. I'm trying to be as transparent and as informative as I can while continuing to move this story along here. So story time can only last so long. I appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe to my channel down below if you haven't already and share this video if you found it informative. and I will be sure to produce the next one as soon as I can, and we will finish the story of